G'day everybody, and welcome back to our curated playthrough of Mass Effect. Now, it has actually been quite a while since I've played Mass Effect. In fact, I think it's been probably more than 2 weeks since I've returned to the game. And that is partially because Christmas has just been and gone, and also just before that I took a little bit of a holiday as well. So yeah, but here we are, returning to where we were at from the last episode. Now, if I recall, we were infiltrating a whole bunch of science facilities and bases that belonged to a group known as Cerberus. Now, not much is known about the group itself, aside from the fact that they seem to be pretty well organized, but they've managed to remain hidden for quite a while. The Alliance doesn't seem to know too much about Cerberus, and it does seem like they have some sort of sinister motive, potentially to, I guess, fight wars using researched creatures like Rachni, husks, creepers, and the like. Now, in one of the facilities that we visited last time, though, we did eventually find Admiral Kahoku, and unfortunately we didn't make it in time, but Admiral Kahoku was unfortunately dead by the time we arrived. So, yeah, definitely a sinister group of people that we're dealing with here. But we did find coordinates to one last Cerberus base within this cluster. So we're gonna actually check that out and see if we can learn a little bit more about Cerberus, and in the process, hopefully, shut down their operations as well. So let's get going. Now, we didn't find the system that we needed to find, called Columbia, until after we had located all of the science facilities in the previous mission. But here we are in the Columbia system. One of these planets should be landable, and we should try and infiltrate the Cerberus base as soon as we find it. But let's start as usual by having a read of all of these planets in this system. So the first one, we've got Ontahiter. Ontahiter is an unusually large ice world with a core of silicate rock and light metals, and a trace atmosphere of krypton and xenon. The crust is mainly composed of water ice. Ontahiter's ice sheets show obvious signs of large-scale fracture and freezing, centered on a massive crater near the South Pole. A recent extranet meme suggests that a Prothean ship crashed through the crust of the planet before the collapse of their empire, and might still be recovered from the planetary core. This is purportedly the source of the planet's unusually high mass. Careful mapping of Ontahiter's gravity field by orbiting satellites have proved that the planetary core is entirely normal. Quickly survey this one. While scanning this planet, you detected a deposit of Sumerian. Alright, next we've got Nephrion. And looks like this is our destination here. Let's have a read of it. Nephrion is a barren volcanic terrestrial world with an atmosphere of carbon dioxide and krypton. Its surface is mainly composed of sodium with deposits of magnesium. Aside from displays of geological beauty, including many spectacular volcanoes, this barren world is of little interest. Entries relating to Nephrion in the astronomical database are sparse. Okay, I wonder why that is. Possibly it could have something to do with Cerberus. Alright, next we've got, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, but Clohia, maybe? So Clohia is a hothouse terrestrial world with a dense atmosphere of nitrogen and sulfur dioxide. The surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of iron with deposits of gold. The core of Clohia is very hot and tectonically active. Volcanic eruptions are common and outgassing continues to add to the density of the atmosphere. The largest active volcano has a caldera nearly 100 kilometers in diameter, and its basalt floods have covered an area roughly the size of the Earth continent of Australia. Jeez, well, must be large then. Virmire. Virmire is a rocky terrestrial world with a trace atmosphere of krypton and xenon. The frozen surface is mainly composed of copper with deposits of calcium. Prior to the Alliance's expansion into the Voyager cluster, Virmire hosted one half of Turian interferometric telescope array. Try to say that 3 times. Connected with similar telescope in the Attican Beta cluster by an expensive chain of FTL-COM buoys. The two functioned as a single virtual lens with an effective aperture equal to the thousands of light years between them. The Turians used this to chart the terminus systems with great accuracy. Scans of the planet Virmire revealed a derelict space station in late stages of orbital decay. A small team was able to recover some items of interest, among them a League of One medallion. Cool. And I think that's all the planets. Let's just quickly scan the asteroid belts here, just in case there's anything interesting for us to look at here. Okay, so the outer one doesn't look like it has anything. Ah, there you go. Well, the inner belt doesn't seem to have anything either, so I guess it is time to land. Okay, now, I'm not entirely sure who we brought in the last mission, to be honest. I didn't actually re-watch the previous episode before starting this episode, but I figure I might bring Liara with us and Garrus. So we've got a little bit of everything here: combat, biotic, tech. So yeah, that should be a pretty good balance. Okay, so here we are on the planet Nephrion. Looks like there's 3 things to do here. So there's an anomaly, there's an underground facility, this is likely where Cerberus is holed up, and there's some debris here as well, probably a crashed probe, because I don't think the debris is really anything else aside from a crashed probe. But right nearby I can definitely see a mineral node on the map at least, so we should actually try to climb these rocks or climb these mountains and see if we can find whatever minerals are showing up there. So this seems to be a little bit of a challenge, but I'm sure we'll find a way to get up there. Okay, it might even be up the top of that mountain, so let's see if we can just make our way up there. Alright. Just realized there, but this world seems to have like a massive moon or satellite orbiting it. So it must affect a lot of things on this world. What is this? Thorium deposit. We'll take that. And the money, obviously. Okay, so from here we should actually try to get to the anomaly first, and I reckon maybe we'll just do things in a straight line, and yeah, just complete everything that we need to do on this planet before moving on to the next mission. Are we going the right way here? I think we are. I think maybe it's best if we just stick to the lower altitude areas over here, and then we might start climbing around this area. Hopefully, that would be a pretty good pathway. But in comparison to some of the other worlds we've been to, the mountains over here don't really seem to be that much of a challenge. There have been some planets that are a little bit difficult to navigate, but this one seems to be sort of okay. Mountains are not too bad. Okay, I still am not seeing the objective, but I'm sure it's not far off though. Perhaps maybe just over this ridge here. Okay, there's something down there. A mummified Solarian. Okay. Let me guess, this might be a medallion. This Cerberus soldier had an identification tag for Captain Varsinth, one of the Solarian soldiers responsible for capturing the League of One. It's unclear how he came into possession of this relic. Interesting. It doesn't look quite mummified to me, but anyway. we won't question the details too much, at least. I can definitely see enemies on radar already. I've just noticed as well, there is another marker that we can see on radar right now. And it's not actually showing up in the map. So we might actually investigate that one first. And yeah, judging by where it is, I mean, I can see like a large flat area here, so I'm guessing this might be another Thresher Maw. What is that? Okay, I guessed correctly. It looks like some sort of vehicle over there in the center, half submerged in the ice. Just a few more of these tentacles to deal with. Okay, that was a little bit close. another bunch of tentacles to deal with. Okay, just a little more. There we go. Wow, 88,000 for that one. Jeez. Yeah, definitely looks like some sort of transport vehicle. I'm not entirely sure how it got here. Maybe Cerberus? And, yeah, there seems to be a small outpost here as well. I wonder if they were experimenting on this Threshermore, or maybe even observing it from here. There we go. Plenty of Medigel there. Not like we really need it though. Okay, well, now that we've investigated this point of interest, I think it's time to move on to this underground facility. Let's start by just climbing up this mountain first and see if we can then work our way towards it. I'm not entirely sure what kind of defenses they have, so maybe if we start on the high ground and just have a quick look, might be able to decide how we approach it. Oh, okay. There's the base over there. Okay. I think maybe we can actually just go around there. Oh, they're already shooting at us. Okay. Not a chance against the Mako. I'm surprised they don't actually have any turrets or anything like that out here, but anyway. Let's get things ready, because I'm sure we're in for a bit of a fight here. I'll take all of that. Alright, let's park our guys out here for a second. And just make sure everyone's using the right weapons as well. Okay, quite a few of them.
Over there! Shields disabled.
Ooh, jeez, okay. They hit pretty hard. Okay, let's move our guys up. See if they can get an angle. Nice. Okay, let's maybe do an overload there. Very good. And what can we do here? Maybe let's do stasis on that one. I'll deal with him a little bit later. Nice. I'm not entirely sure how long the stasis lasts.
Shields down.
Let's take a bit of cover here. Maybe use some immunity as well. Very good. Let's move up a little bit more. Got him.
Area secured.
Very nice. Alright, well, let's just quickly scan the area here, just in case there's any loot worth taking. Well, I guess all loot is worth taking, really. We'll make sure that no item is left behind. Doesn't look like there's anything here, though. Alright, so game wants us to go in there, which means that we need to go the opposite direction, of course. Any good RPG player knows that. Alright. Very good. Yeah, plenty of level 10, level 9 items here. So, really good. If anything, we can sell all this stuff if we don't use it. And, yeah, I haven't actually needed to use any of my Omni Gel for unlocking stuff. We did need to use a little bit of Omni Gel to repair the Mako at some point. What's going on here? Doesn't seem to be anything of interest aside from all this loot. Okay, another Medigel there. Right, let's check out what's going on in this room. So, aid station, that's probably just some more Medigel, to be honest. So this is the thing we need to interact with. Anything else that we can possibly take? Doesn't look like it. You cautiously press a few buttons and an alarm chimes. The optical database is flashing itself. Quickly, you copy as many files as you can to your hardsuit's internal computer. Its memory wiped, the computer shuts down. The files are sure to be encrypted, but you've got the time to crack them. Let's archive those files. Very good. And is that it? Just take a look. Yeah, definitely looks like the assignment is completed. So you found a major Cerberus base and ended their sinister experiments in this cluster, avenging Admiral Kahoku's death and removing a danger that could have threatened the entire galaxy. Cool. A bit of an anti-climax, to be honest, with this mission against Cerberus. But hey, it is what it is. For a game released, when was it? Jeez, can't remember now. Something like 2007, maybe? Anyway. Alright. So, with no other things to interact with here, or lockers or anything like that, I think it's just time to go back to the Normandy. Actually, my bad. We have one more point of interest to visit on this planet, which is the crashed probe. So hopefully that's not going to be too difficult to get to, but I think it's just past this mountain over here. So hopefully we can get there without too much trouble. Okay, maybe a little bit further. Alright, crash probe, where are you? Okay, there it is. Nice use of the jetpack right there. Right, so let's see what we can get from here. Kinetic exoskeleton and combat exoskeleton. Very good. Speaking of all of that, we probably should spend a little bit of time re-equipping our guys, but anyway, let's return back to the Normandy. Righto guys, so with the main Cerberus mission complete, we literally have no other assignments. I mean, aside from some of the collectible stuff, it seems like we're missing one light metal collection here for the valuable minerals mission, but I'm sure we'll get that in no time. We do have the main missions to complete, and really the only destination for us right now is Virmire. So we will head to Virmire shortly, but I figure at this point it might
Transmission coming in, Commander. I think you're going to want to hear this one.
Greetings, Commander Shepard. I represent a party interested in obtaining information on Cerberus activities.
Who are you and who do you represent?
Who I am is inconsequential. Suffice to say, I am an agent for the Shadow Broker. You see, Admiral Kahoku contacted my employer looking for information on the location of any Cerberus facilities. We provided that information on the promise that he would turn over copies of all files gathered from the Cerberus systems to us.
Did you have anything to do with Admiral Kahoku ending up dead?
We had no reason to harm him. He was going to provide us with information about Cerberus. Information that is now in your possession.
You must have some connection to Cerberus. How else could you tell Kahoku where to find them?
Information is our business, Commander. Through our contacts, we were able to determine that the Cerberus group was active in the Voyager cluster. Unfortunately, that was all we were able to find out. That is why we are so interested in acquiring copies of the files from you.
These are classified Alliance files. I'm not handing them over to you.
Be reasonable, Commander. Cerberus was operating outside Alliance jurisdiction. You don't owe them any loyalty. The Alliance is just going to file this information away in some archive. No secret stays hidden forever. Eventually, someone somewhere will deliver it into our hands. Might as well be you. Transmit the files to us and you will be well compensated.
Okay. So this is the Shadow Broker, or I guess an agent of the Shadow Broker. I don't know if there's any implications if we don't cooperate with the Shadow Broker in this instance, but
What are you going to do with this information?
Information is a commodity. It can be bought, sold, or traded. Why my employer desires this information is not my concern. I am only the buyer.
My loyalty is to the Alliance, not the Shadow Broker.
That is unfortunate, Commander. My employer will remember this the next time you need something from us.
Okay, well, I'm not entirely sure if we made the right choice there, because I guess we have damaged our relationship with the Shadow Broker, potentially, but anyway, I think that was the right thing to do. And since we're, doing a Paragon run and whatnot, so anyway, as I was saying before, guys, so Yeah, I think the only destination for us remaining is going to be Virmire, but before we do that, I think it might be time for us to actually return to the Citadel. We haven't actually been back to the Citadel since we completed our mission on, I think it was Pharos? But anyway, let's check in on the commander, or sorry, the admiral, and also the ambassador, and see if they have anything new to say to us. Also, we could probably ask a little bit about Virmire as well, because we haven't been there, so we don't really know much of Virmire. Now, while we're here on the Citadel, I do want to also check out the CSEC requisition officer and see if he has anything new to sell to us, because yeah, I'm really keen on buying a new set of Onyx armor if we can. But aside from that, I also want to see if there are any licenses that we haven't actually picked up. Not only from him, but also potentially from the marketplace. So we'll check things out. Who should we take here? I think maybe Ash and Caden might be a good combo.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Alright, back again on the Citadel. It feels like we haven't been here in a very long time. But while we're here, we may as well just quickly check on the talent trees for all of our characters here. I feel like we haven't actually been using Ash for quite a long time, and as you can see, we've got 57 points to spend on her, so we might actually spend quite a lot of that right now and just improve all of her skills. So she's definitely going to be rocking the assault rifle most of the time, but I also want her to be pretty proficient with shotguns, so let's just quickly unlock all of the Carnage skills there. Aside from that, I also do want to get her wearing heavy armor, and also getting her to have the maximum shield boost ability. And from here we can go into a little bit of first aid, and let's go into assault as well, and that unlocks fitness, so we should be able to spend a little bit into immunity. We'll max out the soldier talent, and now we've got 12 points to spend here, so let's go into assassination, and I think we'll boost the rest of the fitness talent. And we've got one more point here. We might as well chuck it into maybe assault training, just to improve I guess various aspects of her as a character. But anyway, let's head down.
After years of poor economic performance, ExoGeni has announced that its research colony on Pharos is finally returning a profit. New discoveries and a dedicated colonization effort have finally paid off for ExoGeni. ExoGeni's stock rose sharply with the announcement, with investors pleased at this surprising news.
Alright, so CSEC requisitions officer is down here. Let's have a quick chat with him first before we go to the ambassador's quarters.
Hello, Commander.
Show me what you've got.
I'll open the rare stocks for you, Commander. Enjoy.
Alright, so what I'm really interested in really are these master gear items, but they only really go up to level 7, so I'm not entirely sure if they're really worth it or not. So maybe we should actually start comparing stuff at some point, but I think before we even get into that, we'll probably just take a look at all of these licenses. We'll get all of them. We do have another medical upgrade, sorry, not medical, Medigel upgrade. So we should be able to carry one more Medigel pack. So that's great. But I don't think there's really any new items that we can buy, especially no new like Onyx armor that would be able to buy for Shepard, so that's a bit of a shame. Let's make our way to the ambassador's offices.
Those Asari commandos are impressive. Lightly armored, but their speed more than makes up for it.
Unless that speed lets them outrun bullets, I'm more inclined to stick with nice, solid armor and a big gun.
Point taken.
Alright, now at this point in the game I don't actually think that there's anything really new for us in the Citadel. So once we're done here, we should actually progress the main mission and head out to Virmire. But anyway, let's see if we can have a chat with these two.
I saw your Ferros report. If we had known anything about the Thorian, ExoGeni would never have been given the permits to start a colony there. Thank God the colony survived. We can't afford to have too many failures out in the Traverse. It's one of our major expansion regions.
You don't give a damn about the colonists. It's all just politics to you, isn't it?
We can't all be the hero who charges in to save the day, Commander. But we each serve humanity in our own way. You can't escape interstellar politics. It's part of the big picture, and sometimes it isn't pretty.
Just ignore him, Shepard. The ambassador's a little bitter sometimes. Comes with the job.
Fair enough, fair enough. So yeah, interesting stuff that they actually say a few different things once you complete some major missions. But anyway, let's have a chat with Captain Anderson.
Yes, Commander?
See if he says anything new, especially considering we found Kahoku dead, so...
Where can I find Admiral Kahoku?
Last I heard. Is there anything else, Commander?
Doesn't look like he actually says anything new, but he may have some information on Virmire here, so let's have a chat with him about that.
Do you know anything about Virmire?
Sorry, Shepard. I've never even heard of it before all this. You'll have to go out there and check it out for yourself.
Okay.
I should go.
I'll be here if you need anything.
Alright, well, turns out he doesn't really know anything, so that's fine. The next stop really is just visiting the markets, because I'm not certain that we've picked up all of the licenses from all of the merchants. So let's quickly check the market out. Alright, here we are. Let's start here.
Welcome back, EarthClan. Will you be needing supplies for your return to the colonies?
Show me what you've got.
Most excellent. I am sure you will find something pleasing.
Okay, he's got a few level 10 items actually, which is pretty cool. But for now, I think we'll just rely on the stuff that we've managed to gather. Yeah, here we've got a couple of unique items. One is the Armax Arsenal license, so we'll grab that, and another grenade upgrade, so should be able to carry a few more grenades with us. Cool. Let's go downstairs and see if the merchant down here has anything unique for us.
Yes, human. You need something, yes?
Let me see what you have.
Oh, you will be pleased, I think. Very good things I have. You will see.
I love how he's just like gives him that death stare. Anyway. Yes, here we go. So we've got the Geth Armory license. So we'll grab that. And I do want to see...
Yes, human. You need something, yes?
I do want to see whether or not he has...
You will be pleased, I think. Very good things I have. You will see.
Yeah, I just want to see if he has any unique items for the non-human related armors and whatnot. Doesn't look like it. Alright. Let's work our way back.
Oh, sure, I can return that for you.
Thanks. Hasn't worked well since I bought it.
Hey, are you refunding his stuff?
Here you go. Your account will be credited.
You did! You took his return! Look, I'm telling you, I bought this here. Why won't you return it?
I can't take it back unless you...
I know. Unless I have a proof of purchase.
Jeez, that guy is still trying to get his refund. Alright, you know, there's one more person that sells items, right? So I think if we go to the financial district, we should be able to speak to that Hanar that sells stuff. The Emporium. So let's see if he's got any licenses that we can buy.
Commander, it is good to see you again. Would you care to see some of its fantastic items today?
Show me your items.
Oh, this one is pleased to do so, human. You will not be disappointed.
Let's start with stand-up items first. And... yeah, here we go. We've got Devlin Industries license. We've got another Metagel upgrade. And a Cerise Council license. Cool. Anything interesting here? Doesn't look like it. Let's check out the other types of items.
Commander, it is good to see you again.
Show me your items.
Oh, this one is pleased to do...
Okay, nothing there.
Show me your items.
Oh, this one is pleased to do so, human.
Incendiary explosive 10. I think we might have one actually, but anyway. Okay, so looks like that's all the available licenses that we can buy from the Citadel, at least for now. So I think all that's left to do is go back to CSEC and jump back aboard the Normandy. And we should get the show on the road towards Virmire.
Alliance officials report that a Geth incursion into the Armstrong cluster has been repulsed, with the Geth suffering heavy casualties. In the event of future Geth activity, the Alliance plans to maintain a strong security presence in the area.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress. Logged. The commanding officer is aboard. XO Presley stands relieved.
Righto guys, so here we are, back again on the Normandy, and yeah, it is time to progress the main mission and make our way to Virmire. But I think before we do that, let's take a quick look at the Codex. I feel like we have been ignoring the Codex for quite a bit, so we have maybe a couple of things in the secondary Codex collection that we could probably have a read of, particularly here in Ships and Vehicles. So we haven't really read about fighter ships rather. So let's quickly take a look at that. Fighters are single pilot combat small craft. They are lightweight enough that they can be economically fitted with powerful Element 0 cores, making them capable of greater acceleration and sharper maneuvers than starships. Kinetic barrier shields changed starship battles from short, vicious bloodbaths to extended, indecisive slugging matches. Only the main gun of a dreadnought could punch a mass accelerator slug through the barriers of an opposing dreadnought. This changed with the development of the fighter-launched mass disruptor torpedo, a short-ranged weapon that can penetrate kinetic barriers to destroy their projector assemblies. Starship Guardian defenses must be overwhelmed through swarm tactics. Fighter groups can take heavy casualties pressing their torpedo attacks home. Once fighter-launched torpedoes have crippled an enemy's barriers, the mass accelerators on frigates and cruisers can make short work of them. Interceptors are a type of fighter optimized to attack other fighters, with no ability to damage starships. Interceptors are used to screen friendly units from incoming fighter attack. And finally, let's have a read of frigates. In fact, the Normandy is actually a frigate-class ship. Frigates are light escort and scouting vessels. They often have extensive Guardian systems to provide anti-fighter screening for capital ships and carry a squad of Marines for security and groundside duty. Unlike larger vessels, frigates are able to land on planets. Frigate drive systems allow them to achieve high FTL cruise speeds. They also have proportionally larger thrusters and lighter design mass, allowing them to maneuver more handily. In combat, speed and maneuverability make a frigate immune to the long-range fire of larger vessels. In the time it takes projectiles to reach them, frigates are no longer where they are predicted to be. In fleet combat, frigates are organized into wolf-pack flotillas of 4 to 6. Wolf-pack speeds through enemy formations, hunting enemy vessels whose kinetic barriers have been taken down by fighter-launched disruptor torpedoes. The wolf-pack circle strafes vulnerable targets, using their superior speed and maneuverability to evade return fire. Alliance frigates are named for great battles in human history. Cool. And here we go. This type of weapon, the disruptor torpedo, has just been mentioned a couple of times in those two codex entries there. So the disruptor torpedoes are powerful projectiles with warheads that create random and unstable mass effect fields when triggered. These fields warp space-time in a localized area. The rapid asymmetrical mass changes cause the target to rip itself apart. In flight, torpedoes use a mass-increasing field, making them too massive for enemy kinetic barriers to repulse. This extra mass gives torpedoes very sluggish acceleration, making them easy prey for defensive Guardian weapons. So torpedoes have to be launched at very close range. Torpedoes are the main anti-ship weapon used by fighters. They are launched from point-blank range in ripple-fire waves reminiscent of the ancient I'm not sure how to pronounce that, guys, but Calliope or Calliope rocket artillery launchers, thus their popular nickname Callies. By saturating defensive Guardian systems with multiple targets, at least a few will get through. There you go. Bit more ship-to-ship combat tactics there. But anyway, enough of the codexes. Let's get the show on the road and make our way to Virmire, which is in, let's see here, the Centauri Omega cluster. And it is part of the Hawk system. Let's go. Alright, here we are, and conveniently, Virmire has been marked for us, but there are a few other planets in this system, so we should actually just quickly scan all of them. Starting with Namada. Namada is a terrestrial planet with a thick, hazy atmosphere of ammonia, methane, and a cocktail of other hydrocarbon gases. The surface is scorching hot, and mainly composes of nickel with deposits of iron. With a density 1.4 times that of Earth, it is obvious that Namada is rich with heavier elements. Mining could be extremely profitable, though the lethal heat and high gravity would make initial development costly. Given the political instability of the nearby terminus systems, investment is unlikely. Next, Jarfur. Jarfur is a close-orbiting hot Jupiter hydrogen-helium gas giant with clouds of airborne silicate and deeper layers of sodium. In composition, it is extraordinarily similar to 5-1 what's this? S1 or 5-1 Pegasi's planet Bellerophon, one of the first extrasolar planets discovered by humanity in the late 20th century. Despite its great size, Jarfur is actually rather low mass. The incredible heat of the star Hawk has caused its atmosphere to expand. In fact, Jarfur is so low mass it is tidally locked to Hawk. The temperature difference between the sunward hot pole and the dark side cold pole creates constant hurricane force winds. Sounds pleasant. Next, we've got Chloroplon. Chloroplon is a relatively small hydrogen-helium gas giant with a haze of methane in the upper atmosphere. And finally, we've got Priscilla. I think that's how you pronounce it. Priscilla is a terrestrial world so small it cannot retain even a trace atmosphere. The surface is frozen and composed of magnesium silicates with carbonaceous deposits. In the recent past, a pirate band from the Terminus systems carved a message into the surface using ship-based laser weapons. In 100-meter wide Batarian syllabic, the message proclaims the military prowess and virility of one Captain Zaish. A smaller postscript alludes to the questionable parentage of all humans. So basically, he drew a penis on the planet, that's my guess. Well, the equivalent of a Batarian penis on the planet. Anyway. And finally, we've got Virmire. Virmire is a lush frontier world, ideal for colonization by carbon-based species. Its vast seas and orbital position on the inner life zone have created a wide equatorial band of humid tropical terrain. Unfortunately, the political instability of the nearby terminus systems has impeded colonization efforts. The high risk of raids by pirates and slavers make it an unappealing homestead. That's a shame. Definitely looks very nice in the pictures, at least. Sorry guys, pressed the wrong button there. We do need to land on this one, so let's get to it. Okay, so I think we'll continue this one with both Kaidan and Ash. We do probably need to re-equip these two, but we might get to that once we land.
Commander, I'm reading a signal. Must be our Solarian infiltration team.
Check out those defense towers.
Drop the Mako. We'll go in hot and take them out.
I'll get you in underneath their radar, Commander. You got a clean drop, Commander.
That was badass.
Stay out of range and continue evasive maneuvers until I bring those AA towers down.
I know the drill. Meet you at the camp once those towers are offline. Joke around.
Alright, so let's start by taking a look at our equipment here. So we did actually allocate all of the points for Ash, which is good, but she could probably do with a few new toys here and there. So maybe we'll give her the... let's see here. Yeah, maybe she can take the Avenger. And yeah, she's got all these upgrades there, so I don't really want to spend too much time playing around with that. Katana 8. Maybe she can take a level 9? Avalanche, perhaps? I don't think she really uses pistols that much, and we haven't really upgraded too much into the sniper, so we'll probably ignore those two for now. But we can actually give her some better armor here, so, and we have actually upgraded her to wear heavy armor. So let's see. Yeah, I think the Phoenix is looking really good here. So yeah, let's give her one of the Phoenix armors. There we go, looking badass. We've got Combat Exoskeleton 9, which... oh, we've got tons of them, so I think she can keep that one. But let's take a look. We've got Shield Modulator 6. Maybe we can give her something else here. Energized plating. Sorry, and we do want that combat exoskeleton. So it's looking good. Alright, happy with that. But before we continue, guys, I think this is probably a good place for us to take a little bit of a break. Leave a like, dislike, or a comment or two down below. Stay true, and I'll see you in the next one.